Hi folks, tonight we're going to tie a simple bloodworm pattern. You can do this fly in a couple of different versions. This one's just got a little hothead. This one here's got a little hothead as well, but it's got a glass bead in front of it. You can do it with or without a glass bead and just use black thread. Depends really how deep you want to fish. These flies have to be fished deep, but depending on what way you're setting up, you may want to reduce or increase your sink rate. So in the vise I've got, I better give you the model number. This is a short shank special from Fulling Mill, this hook here. I like using a barbless hook, especially for this fly, because if you're going to push a glass bead around the bend, not having the barb on makes sense. I'm using Semperfli Nano Silk. I'll explain why I'm using this thread in a minute. There's not much to this fly. It's a good beginner's pattern, but accounts for a lot of fish. So I've just started the thread there, unwound the thread that gives a flatter profile on the hook shank, and just put a foundation down. Then this is just standard red marabou, and you don't need a whole lot. So I've taken a small amount of marabou and trim off the stub ends. So I do a thing a little bit different with marabou. I actually take about the body length, and just with your thumbnail I strip off the flue, and then you'll not see this anywhere. I tie it in with these stub points pointing out the back. Again, not in any textbook. And then I put this on the top and I bind down. Sometimes works better with a short amount of thread out. Now these butts are exactly the same colour as the marabou, so when I fold this back over, now it does give you a slightly thicker body, but I'm not worried about that. So what I've got now is these little stubs. They help prevent the tail from tucking under, and of course I'm going to maybe get 2 flies out of this, so I'm going to, well, I won't actually, but so I've cut that off. The next material I'm going to tie in is some red flexi floss. And I'm just going to pinch and loop that right at the eye. And then the next material, well, I'm tying this in at the same time, is a single strand of this is actually what they call a buzzer body wrap. But this fluorescent red looks really good. So I'm just tying that in right at the head. And then I'm going to stretch, first of all I'm going to stretch the span flex, and then I'm coming down, and with this material, with this thread or any thread that you can flatten, tying down any rubber product, there's basically no risk of cutting it, and you get a nice flat body. So again, simple fly, works. So first of all I'm going to take up the body in overlapping turns, and you can go up and down a couple of times. If you miss places, it's not that important, but you'll see with this particular product I'm getting a really nice shine. And then tie it off simply at the front. and then with this rib, just come up the body in open turns. And right up to the back of this bead. And then I'm building up a little bit of a base here at the back of the bead, and then catching down the flexi floss and pull it and trim it off, and then we're going to do a whip finish. And I'll show you a wee trick. With my whip finish tool, I've glued on a little small section of a razor blade here, so it's very safe. You can't really get your finger in there to cut yourself, but it means that when you're tying a basic fly, you can just hold this and cut the silk. This stuff's really strong, so I tend to get annoyed picking up and setting down scissors. So that's the fly tied. The last stage is to give it 2 or 3 coats of varnish, and I think everybody likes the Sally Hansen stuff because there's nylon in it. But just to show you what this fly looks like quickly, I'm going to use some, this is Bone Dry from Solaflex. I think it's one of the best out there, but it's like, and I haven't tried them all. So just a small amount on the body, and fill any gaps up over the whip finish. Not too much, very little. And then with your UV light, we're going to cure this. So the last stage I'm going to do here is, if I can find it, it normally sits here, is I'm going to turn out my lights, and this is a larger UV curing lamp, and I'm just going to light up the fly just with the UV, and you can see I've got a segmented body effect. And again, with these little stubs, and if they sort of annoy you, you can trim them back a bit on the water, but they help prevent the tail from tucking underneath, which wouldn't look natural. Hopefully you enjoyed that little fly, and again, the benefit of any thread that you can flatten when you're tying in material that you can cut, it means that you don't sever the material. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much.